Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. I'm a beauty enthusiast and consultant who loves to talk about everything dealing with beauty and makeup, and today we are talking about Allure's Best of Beauty of 2022. I absolutely adore Allure, and I look forward to figuring out and looking to see what they love, because the editors at Allure pick their best. And so in this video, I'm going to compare their best to what I think is best. I will also share with you some products that I think should have been on the list. And I can't wait to share all of that with you guys, so stay tuned for all of that. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it. And let's get right into this video. So first, there are 345 products that the editors picked this year, which I thought I liked it and I kind of didn't like it. So this year they separated all of the winners into various categories. They have breakthrough winners, and then they go on to hair, nails, sensitive, skin, body, lips, face, eyes, makeup tools, so on and so on. Last year, if I remember correctly, they had it based, like broken down into like categories of like makeup. I can't remember all of the categories, but I felt like last year I liked a little better because they kind of hit almost every category. This year I liked the categories, but like I felt like certain things were missing, and it was kind of hard to see certain things. Like for instance, under the clean category, I found additional like foundation and lip products and so on that I wouldn't have found under the makeup category. So I liked it and I kind of didn't like it, but anyways, I was still excited. So here we go. First, starting off with skincare, the absolute product that if you have not tried this yet, you need to try it. It is Shantakai's Bio Lifting Mask. I've gone through maybe like 1.5 of these, I want to say. I had like a mini size and then I had one. This Bio Lifting Mask, okay, so this is what it looks like. Let me tell you why I love it. So what it claims to do is literally lift and tone the skin after using it. You can put it on for 10 to 15 minutes, wash it off. I wear it overnight because that's where I think you get the best bang for your buck. So I like to put this on after I cleanse my face. I'll tone my face, and then I'll put this on, sleep in it, and when you wake up in the morning, your face first of all feels extremely hydrated, but it just looks better. It has that lifted and toning effect to it. It blends really nicely into the skin, as you can see, and it feels great. So I usually use this product about twice a week, and like I said, I'll just use it as my moisturizer for the night, and it is beautiful. Like, I'm so excited that it's getting the recognition that it deserves, because this is by far one of my favorite skincare products, and I definitely think it is worth the splurge because I feel like it works for my skin, and I think you would really enjoy it if you were interested in getting it. The other skincare product, okay, I've not purchased this full size yet, but every time I place an order on Lamir's website, I get a good deluxe sample, which has lasted me over a year. Their treatment lotion. Okay, so what this does is, think of this almost like an essence toner product. So you cleanse your face, you put this on, you can use it kind of like your toner, or you can use your toner if your toner is more of like a additional cleansing step for you, but you will put this on after that, and it helps to allow for all of your products to absorb better into the skin. That's why I said it's kind of, think of it like an essence. So it's a very hydrating type of product. It kind of, just like I said, allows for the skin to absorb all of the products that you're gonna put on after it. So your hyaluronic acid, your serums, and so forth. It's very water-based, so it absorbs very quickly into the skin. You're not going to have any type of residue of like dewiness or anything like that. It's also not going to dry so quickly into the skin that you feel like your face is left feeling dry. It is a beautiful product. When I finally run out of my mini sizes, I will purchase the full size, but I really do enjoy this, and I was like, I absolutely understand why that's an Allure Best of Beauty winner. Okay, and then lastly, I was actually shocked to see this on here. And I was like, you know what, let me use this more. So Peach and Lily sent over a few products months ago, and they sent over their Ginger Melt and Oil Cleanser. So it's supposed to dissolve your makeup, clarify the skin, and also cleanse the skin. So like a 3-in-1 step type of product. And I've used it, as you can see, I've used it, but I didn't continue to use it. And so from what I remember, I do like this product. I probably stopped using it because I got in another cleanser. And so when I saw it on Allure's Best of Beauty, I was like, let me pick this out and use it some more. So I'm gonna use it tonight when I take off my makeup. But to give you some more information about it, it's a luxurious non-drying formula that leaves the skin supple and thoroughly cleansed. Sunflower, grapeseed, and green tea oils melt and remove waterproof makeup, sunscreens, and oil-based impurities. It's infused with ginger, pineapple, papaya, yuzu, I think it's Saika, I think that's how you pronounce it. Skin is gently polished and pampered with antioxidants and vitamins. So you're supposed to rinse off without any residue, leaving behind sparkly, clear, and refreshed skin. Now, I do remember this. I do remember trying to use this as like a one and done cleanser, and I felt the need to go back in with another cleanser to fully cleanse my face. It might be in my head because I'm just trying to double cleanse, but I'm gonna use this tonight, and I'll just leave something right here that lets you know, like, yes, I felt the need to go back in with another cleanser, or this actually did clean my face the way it's supposed to. But I wanted to mention it because I do have it, I had used it, and I was like, maybe I should use this some more. If you have it, tell us your thoughts down below. Okay, so moving on to foundation. So there were 3 foundations on the list that I felt like, okay, one of them, totally understand. The other 2, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of like, okay. So let's talk about the ones that I was kind of shocked to see on there. The Westman Atelier Foundation Stick and the Kosas, the Revealer Skin Improving Foundation. So the Westman Atelier Foundation Stick, I wear the shade Atelier 10, Atelier X. This foundation is okay to me. It is not my favorite. I think it's a really beautiful foundation. Blends very easily into the skin. It's got some pretty good longevity on the skin. So this is the shade 10X. And it's okay. I feel like I maybe not have used this enough to say it's a Best of Beauty Award winner, like to justify that. But I also feel like every time I do use it, I go, this is nice, and then I just don't reach for it. So I'm gonna use this more to see if I can support that it's an award winner. So seeing it on Allure's list makes me want to use this more to figure out why is it that I don't gravitate to this maybe like I should. So I'll report back, most definitely at the end of the year, maybe at the end of this month. The other one was this Kosas Revealer Foundation. So I did do a review of this foundation. I actually really do enjoy this foundation. However, I do not use it as much as I probably should. So seeing it on the list, I do plan on using this more. I remember liking this foundation. It had pretty good longevity on the skin. It looked really nice on the skin. This shade, I do believe, was not the best shade for me, and it's definitely probably gonna be too light now that I've gotten a tan. But I do wanna use this to give it another shot in terms of like, is this one that I would actually agree should be an Allure winner, or is this just like a nice, good foundation? I swear by the concealer, like the Revealer concealer is like holy grail status for me. The foundation, I didn't like gravitate to it like that, at least so far. So I was shocked to see those on there. I was like, well, okay, let me see if I need to go back and revisit. So I will, and keep you guys updated. Now, the one foundation I saw up there that I was like, absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Or, as I've heard people say, immediately yes. I was like, this NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. It is the foundation I'm wearing on my skin today. I wear the shade Cadiz. Ciao, honey, honey, ciao. Why I love this, great longevity on the skin. Light bounces off your face and it just looks so ethereal. You've got nice medium to full coverage with this foundation. It does not look funny or cakey, doesn't cling to any dry spots that you might have on your face. And what I mean by that is I don't have dry skin necessarily, but I do have breakouts and textures, and that can be dry, doesn't cling there. It blends beautifully into the skin. Now today, I did mix it with a breakthrough winner, Danessa Myricks Balm Powder. If you are not new to my channel, You already know how I feel about this. So first of all, the Balm powder, get you some, okay? That's it. You need to get some. You need to try it. So I do have multiple reviews now on this Balm powder. I have 5 shades. I have the universal shade, which you saw me mix with the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. And then I have shades 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'll link any videos that correlate with any of these products in this video. If you would like to see me, use it. On my Instagram and TikTok, I have tons of other videos just showing you how I like to use the Balm powder. So check that out if you're interested in it, but you're not really sure how to use it. This is such a multifaceted product, and it's so diverse in all of the uses that you can use it with and how to use it and so forth. So totally understand why this is a breakthrough winner. Like, this has been a game changer status for me in my makeup, kit, so on and so on. So what I did today was I mixed both of these products because with the universal shade, I actually hit pan today. I was like, come on, pan. Let me show y'all. Y'all see that right there? So here's the thing. Unless I'm trying to do like a dedicated review on a foundation, I always mix my foundations with Balm powder. Real quickly, it makes my foundation look better, last longer because of the Light ingredient in it. It's going to absorb any oils that I produce. So it will keep my face looking like a soft matte look, nothing harsh or dry, just like a soft matte look. Extends the long wear of my foundation. So if there is a foundation I want to wear that doesn't have the most longevity, mixing it with the Balm powder will help to extend the longevity of it. Literally, I always mix my foundations with Balm powder. Now, this NARS foundation does very well on its own. You don't have to mix it with the Balm powder for it to be a really beautiful, long-lasting foundation. Everything is just better with the Balm powder, and that's why I mixed them today. So both of these you're gonna see again in like best of GlamGirlChelsea's for the year. Get you some, okay? Get you some. All right, so then moving on to concealer. They actually had, I want to say 3 or 4 concealers. One of them that I did try was the Lancome Idole concealer. It just didn't work for me. I felt like the formula was too dry and I didn't want to work with it in terms of like, oh, if I manipulate it like this, I can love it. What I felt should have been on there, because I can't get enough of this concealer, is the Lys Beauty concealer. So this is their Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer. I wear the shade TN3. It is the concealer I'm wearing today. And the reason why I love this concealer, number one, is I do not have to set it at all. It lasts all day. I'm talking 6 a.m. application to 10 p.m. at night, taking it off all day type of status. I love this shade because it really does brighten my under eyes. I didn't add any powder under my eyes at all in terms of powder needing to set it or to brighten it. And I love that the formula is not thick either. So it's thick enough to where if you do have some dark circles, I do believe that this foundation will help to cover those dark circles, but it's not so thick that it's hard to blend in, that if you use too much, you're like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what to do now because it's too much on my face. Like, this is such a beautiful concealer. I could not stop using this concealer for like a good few months when it first came out. So this concealer, their foundation was a Best of Beauty winner, Allure winner last year. I think this concealer should be a Best of Beauty winner for this year as well. Maybe next year, but it's an amazing concealer, and I think it's like $20. So a very, if I could say, more affordable priced concealer at a very luxurious type of formula. Definitely check it out if you have not checked it out already. Okay, so then moving on to, what do we want to do next? Moving on to bronzer. So they had a couple of bronzers up there, and I was like, okay, I could definitely see why these are up there. So the 2 that I have that I wanted to share are the Say Cream Bronzer and then the Chanel Le Beige Bronzer. So first, the Say Cream Bronzer. I was just like, absolutely Absolutely, okay? So this is the shade called Deep Bronze. I also did purchase Medium Bronze, and did I declutter that? I think I decluttered that one simply because I ended up reaching for Deep Bronze more. Medium Bronze gave me like a very slight bronze, but I like something a little more noticeable on the skin, so that's why I ended up decluttering that one. Now this shade is beautiful. When I first got it, I got it just for comparison reasons. But it blends so beautifully into the skin, but it can be built up to show more of its pigmentation. So if you do have a deeper complexion than me, I definitely feel like this shade here, Deep Bronze, can work for a few shades deeper than me and show up well. The reason why I love it is because of its blendability and its formula. So it's not going to be too emollient to where it almost like blends away into nothing. Like you can definitely still see it on the skin. It warms up the skin really beautifully and it lasts. So it's not gonna be one of those cream bronzers that, you know, you see it the first hour and then it just is gone by the end of the day. You know, this stays on. It doesn't have to be set with a powder bronzer. And it's so beautiful. It definitely makes the skin look sun-kissed and I love it. This came out last year, so I'm very happy that it's getting the recognition that it deserves. Like, totally understands why this one is an Allure Best of Beauty winner. Now, the Le Beige Cream Bronzer by Chanel. I was about to say Chantecaille. I don't know why I was gonna say Chantecaille. Chanel. This is in the shade called 395 Soleil Tan Deep. So this is their deepest shade. It does have a slight scent to it. And I really liked this one. Like I loved this one when it came out last year. So that is the shade right here. And I remember, because I think this shade came out first last year, and then the Say Cream Bronzer came out. I actually have a video comparing the two, so if you want to see that one, I'm gonna try to remember to link that one as well. And I could not stop using the Say Cream Bronzer. So with the Chanel Cream Bronzer, this one is going to be a little less emollient than the Say. So I don't wanna say stiff, because I don't want you to think like it gets hard pan. Like, definitely not hard pan, and as you can see, it blends it nicely onto the back of my hand, but it is just a little less emollient than the Say. In terms of shade, obviously this shade is not going to be as rich as the Say Cream Bronzer, so this is going to be more of a neutral bronze, which I enjoy. This is also going to give me more of a light type of bronze look on the skin, which is fine depending on what look I want to go for. I would love to see Chanel come out with obviously a few more deeper shades than this so that more people can enjoy the formula. I do understand why they chose this one for an Allure Best of Beauty winner. I think this one is beautiful, but if you're asking my opinion, the Say is better in my opinion for the reasons that I gave previously. So it's better and it's cheaper and there are deeper shades than the Say in the Say Cream Bronzer. But I do still use my Chanel. I do still love it. And like I said, I do see why they chose it. I think it's a beautiful cream bronzer and it does last pretty well on the skin. Its biggest downfall is just it needs more shades. Okay, for blush. So for blush, when I saw these up here, I was like, absolutely yes. Okay, everything is gonna be, well, actually not everything is gonna be absolutely yes, but a lot of these products are gonna be absolutely yes. The Hermes blushes. Okay, so I have two, and I have the shades Rose Pomade and then Rose Blush. So today I applied Rose Pomade, and I remember when these blushes first came out, I was like, I'm only gonna get one because everybody keeps talking about it. Maybe I should have one. So I got two, and when I first tried them, I was just like, we are literally not about to be impressed. And for like the first month, I wasn't impressed. Then I saw, I forgot who it was, somebody was raving about them, and I was like, well, let me pull them back out. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. And I became obsessed. I don't know what it was. I don't know what changed in me, but let me tell you why I love them and still use them to this day, because these came out last year, okay? The formulation of these blushes is definitely different. It is very silky to the touch. With blushes, it is hard sometimes to see them because they're not as pigmented all the time. So we have, let me put it right here. So we have Rose Blush right here, and then Rose Pomade. So they're just so silky on the skin. They build up really nicely on the skin, and they've got almost like a luminous matte type of finish to them. So they're not glowy, you know, like shimmer type of bronzers, but they don't look flat and matte on the skin as well. So I'm really loving the way it adds a flush of color to the cheeks, and I love these. Like, I have traveled so much with these blushes. They do travel well because the compact keeps them nice and secure, but they're also not so overly soft to where they're gonna break easily. So when I saw them, I was like, absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. I didn't see a highlight on there, but what I did see was the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. Now, believe it or not, I've never tried the contour wand. I should. I've never tried it. I've heard amazing things about it. But what I do have are a few of her blush and highlighter wands. So what I did use today was her Hollywood Beauty Light Wand, because it is in the light wand packaging, and this is stunning. This actual shade came out this year, and I love how it like sort of kind of mimics a Hollywood Flawless filter. It kind of gives you like that lit from within glow. I think it looks beautiful. You can apply it on top of your makeup or underneath your makeup, and it looks stunning. So I'm like, this should be an Allure Best of Beauty winner in my opinion, because the shade too is quite unique. It's a really beautiful champagne-based shade, but it's not too icy, not too warm, where I think it can work on so many complexions. And I'm very proud of Charlotte Tilbury for this particular shade, because I think that's hard to do, to create, you know, a shade that really can work for a plethora of complexions and not look, you know, too ashy, too warm, too this or too that. So even though this particular product was not on the list, I think it should have been on the list for this year. Then we get into the eyes. Now, there were a couple of eyeshadow palettes that I did have that I'm gonna talk about. They had way more eyeshadows up there, but I'm only obviously talking about the ones that I already have. So first, the ones that I love and adore and I highly would put my stamp of approval on are the Tom Ford Quads in their wet dry formula. So if you've been around for any length of, well, I would say if you've been around for like a year or so, you've heard me talk about this. This Tom Ford Quad in Nude Dip, y'all, I can't sing its praises enough. Nude Dip is like the eyeshadow quad that I reach for when I'm like, I don't really know what I want to do. What eye look should I go for? I want something simple, but something that's gonna look beautiful on the eyes. Nude Dip is it for me. It's like, it doesn't look like much in the pan, but I'm telling you, it has also been the eyeshadow quad that I've used that I've gotten the most questions of, what's on your eyes? I don't know what it does. It just does the most, and it's amazing. The other one that I love in this formulation is going to be the quad called Honey Dip. Honey Dip is what I use when I want like such a beautiful, like warm base look. Once again, don't want to be fussing and fighting too much with it in terms of like how these are gonna look on the eyes, but I'm never disappointed with how my eyeshadow turns out when I use this. So these are the two that I would recommend. There are other, you know, color stories, but I would say for sure, I definitely agree that these are a Best of Beauty worthy product. Now, the product I saw out there, and I said, are you kidding me? Like, you have got to be kidding me, because I don't agree with this at all. This Gucci eyeshadow palette. So this also came out last year. I have done a full review on it. So this is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. And while the packaging definitely, in my opinion, is an Allure Best of Beauty winner, the eyeshadow quality is not. So I created this look. I definitely went a little more dramatic with it. And I will say this, now the black in this palette is stunning. As you can see, very pigmented, and it doesn't fade away. It's beautiful, actually. Probably, in my opinion, one of the best shades in the palette. The two shades that I think are the best in formulation are gonna be the black and this silver. Very pigmented, you don't need a lot of it, and it lasts. The other shades are just so mediocre. Like, and when I read their explanation, I was like, I don't agree. I mean, it's just like, if you just want a simple, like, I just want to throw a couple of shades on the eyes and be done, okay, this can give it to you. But I, you know, like, because I I used it today. I was like, you know what? Maybe I just don't remember, you know, maybe it's me. I usually just keep it back there for decorations because I think the packaging is stunning. And even today, like the purple shade, I think the purple shade was beautiful. I did have to build it up. So the shade right here, did have to build it up, but I was like, hey, we got it to do what it needed to do. If you do want the best bang for your buck, especially with like this shade, these, basically the shimmers, wet your brush and swipe. I noticed swiping motions worked well versus tapping motions. I tend to like to tap my shimmers on my eyes to reduce fallout and to get the most pigmentation. But these shimmers like to be swiped and they like to be a little damp, okay? Then I went on to this shade, and I mean, this is like a shimmer topper, but in my opinion, for the consistency and formula, it needs to have more base to it. Like it needs to be able to stand alone, and it can't. As you can see, like it definitely, you can see it over the purple shade, but when I was applying it, I'm like, is this all I'm gonna get? Like this is not shimmer topper formula. This is like eyeshadow formula with a base to it. Doesn't really have it. Like I said, now the silver, immaculate, and then I didn't get this on camera, but I took this tan shade and I just ran it over the edges of the look to blend it out, and you can't even really see it. It's like my shade, which is fine. But to me, this is just okay. Okay. I don't know why it's an Allure Best of Beauty winner. I think honestly, it's probably for the packaging, but it shouldn't be on there. The Tom Ford quads, yes. This palette, no. But it is on there, so that's that. Moving on to powder. So this is a product that I think definitely should be on the list. I didn't really, if I remember correctly, I didn't really see any setting powders on the list. I believe I saw a powder foundation from Bare Minerals, but that's all I remember. But this Jaclyn Cosmetics, this was the powder that she created in collaboration with her mom, Jaclyn X Robin. This is the Powder Move Loose Setting Powder in the shade Sheer Medium. I have talked about this powder over and over and over again. This is such a beautiful luminous powder, but it's not too luminous. So if you have a combination oily skin or even oily skin and you don't like obviously overly dewy products, but you don't want to look flat and matte, this is a setting powder that I would recommend, also for dry skin as well. You would just use less of it, but it just makes the skin look beautiful and blurred, and it gives a life to the skin. So I love that I can use this to set my face, but it's not gonna make my face look dry and flat. Like it's got a bounce to it. And every time I do my makeup, I use this powder, unless once again, I'm like doing a dedicated review on a foundation and I don't wanna like manipulate the product. But if I'm just doing my makeup for my own purposes, this powder will be used. I like to use it at the end of my makeup, and it is so, so beautiful. Like this could be a powder I could run out of. I've never ran out of a powder, but I could run out of this powder because it's just that good and I use it just that much. Like love, love, love it. Okay. And then lastly, lips. So there was a lip balm on there by Ilia. This is the Ilia Lip Wrap Reviving Balm. The brand sent it to me and I love it. It actually sits right here on my makeup vanity, and I love to apply this before I go to put my makeup on, or just, you know, my lips are dry, I'll put it on. Very hydrating on the lips, gives like a nice little gloss to the lips as well. And I like that the product doesn't seep too quickly into my lips and then leaves my lips feeling dry. It actually like absorbs into my lips, so I feel like my lips feel and stay hydrated for a good length of time. So this one is beautiful, and this is a clean brand. Then we have the Fenty Beauty lip stains, and I was like, oh, I can see why they're on there. So I only have one, and I have it in the shade My Type. And what I will say is this, these lip stains do last on the lips pretty well in terms of the color. So here's the shade My Type, and it does leave a nice stain on the lips. I do wish that like the glow of the gloss stayed a little more, but what I do like is that it doesn't absorb too quickly. So I usually don't like lip oils because I feel like you put them on, they absorb really quickly into the skin, and then like you don't see anything else at all. And sometimes I almost feel like my lips feel dry because the product has absorbed too quickly into the lips. But these don't do that at all in terms of like my lips still feel nice and hydrated, even though the stain might be wearing, but the stain does last. Like I remember swatching this on my hand and I had just left it on my hand for a while and I went to wipe off the swatch and like my hand was stained and I was like, oh. So for that reason, I could see why the Fenty Beauty lip stains made in, you know, won a Best of Beauty, because I was like, these things do last. They definitely do last. Then a product that I'm so excited about, and let me get the other shade, Pound Cake liquid lipsticks. So this brand, I forgot where I found this brand at, but I bought like 1 or 2 of their lip products because what stood out about this brand was that it's a Black-owned brand, female-owned brand, and they were like, you know, we're tired of seeing red lips be made, but they don't stay true to color against different complexions. You know, color theory is real. And so, you know, in the sense of what looks like one shade on one complexion is going to look different on another complexion. And even with our lips have different pigmentation. And so depending on how, you know, deep your lip colors are, how light your lip color is, it's going to determine what the shade looks like on your lips. So they pride themselves in creating a product that is going to stay true to color no matter what lip shade your lips are. And they have created a specific red liquid lipstick based on your complexion. So for instance, my perfect red for my complexion is going to be their shade called Strawberry. So I'll do quick swatches of it. These lash really beautiful on the lips, and they're a liquid lipstick. They don't dry down all the way, so it is going to transfer, but they do have really good longevity, and with one swipe, you get full-on pigmentation. The other shades that I have really quickly, this is shade Maraschino, so I'll put that right there. This is shade Red Velvet, and by the way, they smell like cake. Amazing, okay? The smelling of cake almost wins it over for me, but the quality is amazing. And then this last shade is called Bloodberry. We have Strawberry, Maraschino, Red Velvet, and then Bloodberry. All of these are so beautiful. I mean, the pigmentation is amazing. And I'm like, if you're gonna buy a red lip, honey, get Pound Cakes. They have a total of 6, so I need to get the other 2. But I love, 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 love them. And I also love to just support Black-owned, women-owned brands. And the owner, Camille, is so sweet and kind. And I totally think you should get one. Even if you've got your perfect red, you need one of these. Or the other 2. You need one, just one, I'm telling you. I was so happy to see Pound Cake up there. I immediately went to Pound Cake's Instagram page and I DM'd them and I was like, oh my gosh, congratulations, I'm so excited for you. And I'm so excited for the brand. Like, they deserve this recognition, and I can't wait to see what Pound Cake is gonna do with the purpose and their mission in terms of just creating products that are gonna be true to color and creating products for each complexion out there. Like, can't wait to see what they do in the future. And then lastly, the lip products that I'm wearing on my lips today, when I saw these, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. So these Maybelline, they're called the Super Stay Vinyl Ink Liquid Lipsticks with a gloss and a shine. So I purchased one. I purchased this shade called Capricious, and then Maybelline sent me all these other shades. I know I'm missing one. I thought I had 6, but you can find them in your local drugstore, Walmart, Target, so forth, anywhere where Maybelline is sold. These are beautiful. So what's amazing about these is that they're a liquid lipstick, but they have a shine and they don't feel dry on the lips. So today I used 2 shades. I used the shade Peachy, that's the shade that you saw me apply first. And then I felt like I needed like a little more depth, just, you know, a little more. So then I added the shade Cheeky. These are beautiful. And like I said, so here we go. Let's test the theory of them being like liquid lipsticks and not really transferring much with a gloss. So we're gonna go. So as you can see, just a little bit comes off, but not a lot. I mean, for them to have like gloss and shine, and not be all over the place. Even some of these deeper shades, so I will swatch them really quickly so you can see what they look like. But I was like, oh yeah, I totally see why these are up here. And I was really excited to see them up here because I really enjoy these products. They do have a little bit of a scent to them, but the scent, in my opinion, smells good. And it doesn't like stay on the lips. So we have Red Hot, Unrivaled, Capricious, Cheeky, and then Peachy. So these are the shades. I think they are beautiful, but the formulation is definitely one to kind of gawk at. It's like, oh my gosh, liquid lipstick that don't look crazy dry and have a bit of gloss to them and very little transfer. I can get with that. So you guys, what do you think? Like I said, there's 345 products. So obviously I am not sitting here like talking about all of them. So I'll leave the link down below where you can check out all of the award winners because I only talked about like a very select few, but I wanted to do a full face, show you what they look like on my face. I would love to hear what you think down below. Do you have some favorites that I didn't talk about? If you are somebody who loves to, you know, keep up with Allure's Best of Beauty, what do you think of the final look? What do you think of the products that I use? Leave all of that down in the comment section below. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.